going to bring our next presenter. She's just going to share a little life experience for you. Very powerful. Great honor to bring Miss Wanda Webbe. Please give a round of applause.
Martin Luther King was born January the 15th, 1929 in Atlanta, Georgia. His name was listed Michael Luther King by mistake. His name was changed July the 23rd, 1957. He was expelled from grade school, first grade, because his mother attended the school that he wasn't old enough. Can you hear me now? Okay. We'll start. Martin Luther King was born January the 15th, 1929 in Atlanta, Georgia. His name was listed Michael Luther King by mistake. His name was changed July the 23rd, 1957 to correspond with two uncles. One was named Martin and the other one named was Luther. He was expelled from first grade because his mother entered him in school before he was 6. He was too young. He skipped the 9th and 12th grade, and at age 15 he enrolled in college. He finished in 1949 at the age of 19. And his best friend was Reverend Ralph Abernathy. He was from the Montgomery First Baptist Church. King married Scout Coretta King in Marion, Alabama. In 1959, he was stabbed in the chest while he was doing a book signing called Strides Toward Freedom, the Montgomery story. This lady was Isola Curry, and she was mentally disturbed, and he was in Harlem. He went to India for a month and studied Gandhi techniques of nonviolence in February of 1959. In 1963, he marched with the Freedom Riders to Washington. In 1964, he was named Man of the Year by the Times Magazine. He won the Nobel Peace Prize in Oslo, Norway at the age of 35. In 1965, he marched from Selma to Montgomery to the Edmund Pettus Bridge. That day was declared Bloody Sunday because of the violence that happened at that bridge. King was arrested and in prison over 30 times. His house was bombed in 1956. Martin Luther King loved Star Trek and playing billiards. He had 4 children and he was assassinated April the 4th, 1968 at the age of 39 in Memphis at the Lorraine Motel, room 306. He was on the balcony getting the shade. He was on the balcony. His friend Reverend Abernathy was on the balcony when he was shaving, and he was putting on his Hermes perfume, and he missed being shot too because he was inside. He heard the shots. As a result of King's belief in nonviolence, many acts were passed. His last book was entitled, Where Did We Go From Here? A chaos or community chaos. My experience was June the 12th, 1967, the riots broke out in Cincinnati, Ohio. Poster Lassie was named the Cincinnati Stranger, and his cousin was walking down the street and the police stopped him for loitering. They broke out in a riot, and 1 person died, 62 people were injured, and $3 million worth of damage was done as a result of the looting. The National Guards of Ohio had to be called in. Reverend Claude Black marched with Martin Luther King, and Reverend Abernathy, Reverend Shuttlesworth had a church in Cincinnati, Ohio, and Martin Luther King came to visit the church a couple of times. And one of the ladies at the church, was a musician, and she did a song that inspired the song "We Shall Overcome." Martin Luther King was a man who was for nonviolence. He used that his whole life, and he died with that still in mind.